Hello, everybody. Slightly Slanted Sleuth coming at you. Sorry, bear with me here. But yeah, hi, everybody. Yeah, who do we got in the house here? Yeah, I'm gonna close this out and restart it. We've got P Turtle. What's up, P Turtle? Yeah, I heard you and I responded. What's up, Miles? I will try and catch the Apophis asteroid. Just need a very large baseball mitt. There's a comet coming, or an asteroid. Indigo Daniel, what's up? Lisa Laws, what's up? What's up, y'all? What's up? Yeah, but I wanted to, this. I'm gonna give you guys a synopsis of how I see things now. I've been doing a lot of studying of the Kabbalion lately, and mainly listening to audiobooks, to be honest with you, because I can't get myself to sit down and read anything. And really, well, I can read everything, but I mean, I like listening to audiobooks instead, I guess. It's like I like watching movies instead of reading books. But, I've read a little, not a lot. And, I've read like the Pymander, some of the Bible, not much, but the Emerald Tablets I've read over and over and over again, as you guys well know. And I want to start this podcast out with, "Mighty spirit of light that shines through the cosmos, draw my flame closer in harmony to thee. Lift up my fire from out of the darkness, magnet of fire that is one with the all. Lift up my soul, thou mighty and potent, child of the light, turn not away. Draw me empowered to melt in thy furnace, one with all things and all things in one, fire of the life strain, and one with the brain." That prayer, chant, call it what you will, is a invocation to me, for me, to invite knowledge into my life, invite the light. And that's what I wanted to speak on today, was we got some more people in the house. I'm going to say hi first. Hey, what's up, Trina? Glad you're here. Seth Dominus. Wisdom is the discovery and finding the total truth of what ye are and what this world simulation really is, and how to untwist the status quo perceived truth. Very good. That's exactly what I want to speak on today. And I'm going to post a link here in the chat in a minute so somebody can join, but I want to get the gist of what I want to say out first, so I don't lose track, because I have ADD, adult attention deficit disorder. But I guess that'd be AADD, wouldn't it? Yeah, Trina, hi. Thoth Anon, at least I think I said hi to you all. P Turtle. Deborah Tucker, what's up? Etheric Essentials by Deborah Tucker. Glad you could join us. But yeah, yes, squirrel. This is very good. Squirrel. What is Seth Dominus says, i.e. Bible is symbolic at best, not literal. Right. What's up, Runky Monkey? I'm going to post a link if you want to join here in a minute. Peace, love, and sunshine. Hello, I'm glad you could join us. Squirrel, yes, we are, okay. We are a finite being, okay? We are the square, right? In an infinite mind, which is the circle, okay? We are finite in the mind of the infinite, okay? You can call it chaos, you can call it, chaos is part of the all, but the all, God, is in us. God is in the earthworm, but the earthworm is not God. You know what I mean? All energy manifest is of the one source. We are all one. One for all and all for one. One for one, one for one. Right? you can say that, people want to, I think blasphemy or blaspheme came from the fact that, all of these axioms I'm going to speak about are all spoken of in the Bible, but they're all from a previous learned doctrine or set of laws of the universe, laws of our prevailing third rock from the sun in the third dimension. The whole threes, 333. That's me. Hello, hello, hello. But yeah, I mean, within the infinite is the finite, and the infinite is in the finite. Okay, so all is in the all, and all is all, right? Probably addicted to constant dopamine hits from social media. Yes, that's what's going on with our existence right now, I think, is but you got to understand that this whole construct we find ourselves in is essentially mind. We are in the mind of the infinite. And how I wrapped my head around this recently was, okay, so you suppose, all atoms are 99.9% empty space, right? So therefore matter is nothing but empty space. So then you're going to think, well, matter is manifest from mind, right? It's like you have to think about making something to eat before you eat it. Our creation, our creative principle, the reason why we are called creators is because the mentalism of the mind, of the all is mind. We create both on an atomic level, on a mineral level, on a spiritual level, on all these levels. We create what we see, okay? But it's more than that. It's like, and in the end, we strive for knowing and understanding. If you're watching my channel right now, this is why you're here, because you strive to want to know what's next, what's after this life. Why are we afraid of death? Is death a something, or is death a nothing? Is it no thing, or is it something? Death is not real as we know it. Death to be, in my opinion now. My opinion now, what I know as truth, is that death is merely a transmutation of one thing to another, because that is the sole purpose for us in our existence, is transmutation of this god-awful world, if that's what you want to consider it, a god-awful world, or this beautiful heaven, into a better place, a more desirable place for you. That's what makes the whole journey for each and every one of us personal, I believe. It brings me back to John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. For he who shall believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Now to me, that means you have to die before you die. So when you die, you don't die. I've repeated this over and over, but because it's so paradoxical, and that's what everything's about. Everything has its opposites. Everything, that's the whole string theory thing. The whole, if there's an atom here, there's an anti-atom. If there's a matter here, there's antimatter here. That's where all that comes from, is the polar opposites, the exact opposite. And marrying them two in your mind, knowing that those things are exactly the same, just varying degrees, degrees of the same thing. Now, that's not to say that you can change north and south and east and west into hot, cold, or up and down. You can associate it with that, but you can't change them into them. That's where the whole seven comes in. The 7 Hermetic principles: mentalism, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, gender. Did I miss one? We got mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender. And gender in the sense of regeneration. And that's what everything in our existence is. That's what we are. We regenerate the light of the Big Bang, the all-spark of creation. Okay? But in doing so, there is an ebb and a flow to everything. There is an in and an out. The tides, high tide, low tide, day, night, hot, cold, same. All of it's the same. There's always an extreme at both ends of the pole. Okay? Just like our north and south poles. But if you notice, they seemingly are the same. You know, when you look at the magnetosphere, for example, the model of the magnetosphere, because you can't see it literally unless you are a whatever. But point is that when you look at the magnetosphere, where it comes out and goes in, it looks the same. And what is it? What is it, guys? It's the infinity symbol. We are at the crux. We are at the crossing. To me, Anunnaki is a word for An means prince, king. Nu means noon, which is the heavens, or the primordial substance, or the ether, or the cosmos, I think. Noon, I think, is the primordial chaos or whatever. So you're king, or no, not chaos, but primordial substance. I believe it's ether. I think noon is the sky. Right, because Anu means king of the sky. Yeah, so it's sky, so heavens, and that's why Sitchin defined Anunnaki as to those from heaven, earth came to earth, or whatever that definition is. But to me, Anunnaki means, you know, king or prince of the sky. And where are we? We're on earth. So what does that mean? That means that us, are the fallen angels. We, you, me, he, she, we are all fallen angels until we make the understanding of the laws of the all. The laws of the all, in essence, are just the principles in which our creation recreates, regenerates, like a tree buds, a tree loses its leaves, and a tree goes dormant for the winter, and then the tree buds, the tree gets its leaves. It's just like birth, life, and death. Every time something reaches its zenith, it starts going downward. The ebb and the flow, the hero's journey, right? I mean, we all have our zenith, and then we all have our demise. That is the fact of this physical creation. Now, you may be wondering why I bring up all is mind, and then in the same breath, I talk about the physical. And I'm not looking at the phone right now because or the comments right now, I'll get to that. And I apologize for not doing that right now. If anybody new has entered, I say thank you. And, you know, this is not just for me, but in essence, for me, it is just for me, if you know what I mean. Because we all have our personal journey to take to God, to the all, to heaven, to the pleroma. Okay? This all is the great work, the divine union, the mountain of God, the the interpersonal relationship with your higher self. It's all the same. All the same. You can think New Age, you can think Old Age, you can think New Testament, you can think Old Testament. Now, we are finite in the mind of the infinite. Divine union is the understanding of the law of the all. And it's all for one for all. right? Nothing plus something equals everything. You understand what I mean by that? No thing plus something equals everything. So out of nothing comes something, which comes from everything, which is everything. And if you you can think of it as, if you keep your mind, you can keep your mind on the stars, you know, but let your eyes watch over your footsteps, lest you fall into the mire by reason of your upward gaze, and be cast against the stones and torn asunder. That's a quote from the Kabbalion. And the ebb and the flow is exactly the rhythm. Just like everything has a rhythm, and in and out. That's what the cycles are. The cycles, the wheels within wheels. You know, that's what that whole analogy comes from, I believe. Right? And the universe is in the nature of an illusion. But in a relative sense, if you do nothing but know that it's an illusion without paying attention to your physical, so that's the absolute aspect or perspective, is that you know that it's all an illusion, but you can't ignore the relative, you know, because relativity is what we have to deal with, what's relative to us in our physical sense. Because without the physical body, you have no way of experiencing the ebb and the flow, the rhythm, the in and the out. I enjoy the ups and the downs, not the downs so much, obviously, because we all want to propagate towards the positive, right? At least I do anyway, because, you know, being happy is a lot funner than being sad, but without sad, would you be happy? That's another, you know, the divine paradox. Everything in its base sense has a polar opposite, a male and a female aspect. Everything in creation has the means of recreating itself, including the Allspark, the Demiurge, the only begotten Son, which is achieved by us in the mentalism of our regeneration loop. We are the beginning and the end. We create the spark between the spark gap, between Adam and God, in the Sistine Chapel in the creation of Adam painting, and the triangles of the Lu that are coming down and not touching, the spark gap. Okay, that's what I see that as. And you can think of the polar opposites, like yes, I took notes. Mastery is using the higher law against the lower law, and it's transmutation that is our purpose in this life. I believe the transmutation of the lower to the higher is what we should be striving for. Okay? And the all is immanent. The all is mind and a mental creation of the all. As above, so below. This is the last thing I wanted to touch on. As above, so below. As below, so above speaks to the fractalization of reality as correspondence between the polar opposites. Not just what's upstairs is downstairs, but in the levels of in which you understand things, or the law in every level. Like, okay, you know how like sound disappears to our ear at a certain vibration, and in our vision we only see certain spectrums. Okay, colors, same thing. Okay, and then we have everything in our existence, the solfeggio scale, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, mi. Okay, that's seven houses of the Lord. Seven. The seven Hermetic principles. Okay, where was I going with this? And and transmutation is our goal, I believe. The transmutation of our selfish nature in this devilish, materialistic, senseless, illusionary, against you world into divine understanding of what it's all about. The tree of life, in my opinion, is exactly example, and it's not no coincidence. It's a tree, because a tree is the perfect analogy, or perfect shoe in for the regeneration, because it does it yearly, and it does it. It propagates its seed, it drops a seed, it grows in the ground, you know what I mean? And it's just like the light and the dark. You insert the phallus of light into the abyss of chaos, boosh, creation happens. Right? And I believe that that is what the Allspark is for us. We use God like God uses us to create the only begotten Son, the light, the flash, the Allspark, the synapsis. The all is mind concept comes from not just me, not just the Kabbalion, but scientists say that the universe and the whole works looks like a big brain. And in that beginning prayer, I said at the beginning of this video, that's what it ends with, the brain. It begins and ends with the brain. The mentalism, the understanding of our regeneration, of how it all works. It's hard to wrap your mind around when you're stuck in this physical existence, because we tend to think of everything as tangible, as touchable, smellable, tasteable, hearable, when in reality, it's all up here, guys. It's mind over matter. If you ain't got a mind, it don't fucking matter. Right? But the as above, so below speaks of the lower realm. It's like in the Emerald Tablets, where he speaks of your existence will be replaced by a spawn from a lower star. As you ascend ever higher, so does the lore. Rest well in the mind of the all, because we are eternal. Our energy is eternal. Our bodies are like radios receiving the spirit of the all. My only confusion lies where we have a personal Akashic record, because in my opinion that and the energy energy A, energy B, the spirit, the plant, the man, the human consciousness, the plant consciousness, the animal consciousness, is that it's all the same, I believe, but on different levels. So that means that depending on what you're manifest as in the physical, because maybe you can manifest in all forms. Maybe you can manifest as a rock. Maybe that's why I'm stoned, because I was a rockhead, or I don't know. Just something to think about. But and then spiritual manifest is vibrating so high that it looks like it's standing still, like it's at rest. Is that the absolute zero? Is that the 412 below zero? I think it's 0 Kelvin. I think that's what it's considered, at where the quantum computer operates. Is the quantum computer in our reality what we strive in our mind to do? Because a wheel that's moving super fast looks like it's sitting still. If you watch a wheel spinning at a certain rate, right? Okay, I'm going to look at the Earth is very wobbly now, like a drabble at the end of its spin, because we are in the wrong lane on Galactic Highway. Funny, right? Lisa Wells said, okay, I'm going to start back. I broke the claims of religion. The freedom to think again is awesome. That's from Peace, Love, and Sunshine. Tons of rabbit holes, holes on top of holes. And I want to speak on those too, because I believe the rabbit holes are part of the test for our journey. I mean, it's what makes our journeys personal. If there wasn't a bunch of rabbit holes, I just posted the link in the chat if anybody wants to come on. I see that. I see what you say there, Miles. Is religion your faith in the Father? No, religion is from the mind, man. The relationship with the Father is heart. Faith of a child is reality. The mustard seed that is uncorrupted. Right. Nobody is fatherless or motherless in this construct. In the mind of the all, we all have a father, we all have a mother. For the all is all. The all is mother and father. Okay. One world on harmony, one song, one Honda Accord. Yes, flip the polarity, flip the script. Yes, means the same type things happen under same alignments of skies, stars in history with stars like 1811 and 2019. Speaking of which, what was I going to say on that? I don't know. But I mean, man and female, or male and female is like night and dark. They're the polar opposite within us. It exists within all of us. The polar opposites of male and female. We are androgynous in our mental state, in our purest mental state, at equilibrium with both aspects of male and female, right? When the ruler is stupid, so stupid that I can see how stupid it is, then it's a major problem. Oh, the rabbit holes. That's what I was going to talk about. The rabbit holes now, those are endless. Where do you end up at the end of a rabbit hole, guys? Now what, right? You end up with now what? Yep, I'm just a schlub too, Thoth. Many doors on the way down with which to get lost in. Yes, that's what it's about, Pete Turtle. It's just one rabbit hole, in my opinion. I agree with that. One truth. I don't know how to change the channel. Government needs to censor a snake and a fake rabbit ears tied to its head. Yes. We all understand that the snake is what? What do you guys think the snake is? We live in a Hunger Games motif is best way to put it. It sure seems like it's getting there, doesn't it? But we are what we make it. You know, if we want a better life, we have to strive to achieve that better life. And how do you do that against a corruption that is I don't know, rife, spent? Positive, negative, balance. Earth is negative. The atmosphere is positive. Connect above and below. Above and below is in reference as well to the fractalization of the reality as correspondence between the polar opposites. If you can follow me. So it's not just, so it's using the higher against the lower, or knowing that the lower is the same as the higher is the same as the lower, just varying in degree, right? Everybody fighting that rat race to get the biggest piece of cheese or the monopoly money so they can pay for the cheese. Right. I would prefer the cheese myself. Now what? When you reach the bottom of the rabbit hole, you will understand your purpose. Yes, this one rabbit hole is the only time you'll understand anything, because any other rabbit hole I've journeyed upon, we've got Runky Monkey in the house. What's up, buddy?
What's happening, Steve?
What's up, dude?
Hey,
I'm promoting you. Hang on. But yeah, anybody else wants to come on and talk? Feel free. What's up, bud?
Good, brother. Hey, them words you speaking are just so utterly delicious. I mean, that's some well-spoken words.
What do you mean by that? I know you got a loaded meaning there.
No, no, I'm just saying, from where we've come from, and what we see today,
Right.
from years back, but just the words you speak are so true.
Well,
Yeah,
I would hope that some would catch on to what but I mean, to each their own, and that's the point of it. This all is we all are going to have a personal journey, and regardless of where you're at on that journey, regardless if you complete the journey, it doesn't matter. Rest at ease because you know what, you're going to have your shot. You're going to
yep,
succeed sometime.
yep.
To us, what's an eon to in a relative sense, to us in the absolute is just a blip. Is just a snap of the fingers. That's where you got to marry the polar opposites of everything, and that's it speaks in everything, Jerry. Everything,
Hmm.
man. Male, female. I can tell you're kind of short breathed. How did you? Jerry just had surgery and it went well. He says, guys,
Yes,
yay! How
they're gonna
you feeling?
Humpty Dumpty's gonna get put back together.
How you feeling today?
I feel all right. The woman, the catheter, she didn't hook the top of it, so it was pulling on it. So I had to
Oh,
do it right. It's pretty bad when you got to do the nurse's job.
oh, how can you do that to yourself?
Well, if somebody would have jerked it, you know what I mean? It'd jerk it right out. Now
Oh, oh, that's gotta hurt. Whew.
it's got a big balloon on the end of it.
Yes, yes. Usually, Trina says, "Heal with God's speed, my friend."
Thank you,
Trina
Trina.
says, "Ouch" as well. She don't even have one, and she says, "Ouch." Right. And yeah, Seth Dominus says that God is math genius and not the stuff you learned in school. He is an avid star watcher too. God is not a he, first and foremost. God is everything. But yeah, I agree with that pretty much.
Well,
Uh,
I think he can take any shape he wants, though. I mean, he can come back as a
yeah.
frog if he wanted. He created it.
Left brain, right brain. Cayman 830 says left brain, right brain balance, internal connection between positive and negative male and female. Yes, yes, yes.
That
I would
makes
agree
you
with that.
capable, willing and able, capable, cannibal, Cain and Abel. Your warrior
Trina,
side.
right? Trina, that exactly, Jerry. Cain and Abel is polar opposites. Yep. I mean, that's what the whole Cain and Abel story is about, right?
I believe so. Yeah, it's two of the same man. It's kind of like Wizard of Oz, where Dorothy was the whole. But
Yeah.
that's us accepting. That's also us accepting the sacrifice of eating the flesh. We're
Right.
partaking in it.
Yeah, that's just. I think that's because the house of bread means the mind, right? The place in which we dwell, the all.
Well, that's the house of flesh too, bread or
Yeah,
flesh.
right, right. That's what I was getting at. That's exactly what I was getting at. See, we do think alike. Uh, Trina's said that. Wait, hang on. And she said empathy. Ouch! But then there was something else she said I wanted to touch on. The female upgrade. Oh, yeah, the female upgrade. I think may be that we are stargates. We bring in souls, and that it couldn't be more pertinent to what I believe now too,
Well,
because
that's
I
why I
believe,
say,
like you said, the vagina. Yeah, the vesica
yeah.
Pisces is a
Well,
vagina.
the two hearts. That's why the heart's there. You stick that you create, put the seed in there, but then on the other end of the horseshoe is the wormhole where the soul comes in. That's
Right.
really the black hole where that seed, where the soul comes in.
It's the if you don't eat wild animals, won't they overproduce and eat all the plant life? Very good. You know who's saying all that stuff?
I thought,
Yeah. Cain was a real badass, major temper. Yeah. What's eating the flesh? Eating the flesh is the bread, the
yeah,
body of Christ when you do the Eucharist, right?
Right. I just think the animals are, they got a keen sense, of fear. And once they become that fear, they're not a threat to you no more. You might be able to sit out in the field with all the raccoons. I mean, it says the bear will eat grass with the ox, the lion will eat straw with the
Yes,
cow.
and I'm not dismissing the fact that they're conscious. They're conscious beings, but in my opinion, animals are just an instinctual creature which are closer to the all aspect than we even are. You know what I mean
Yeah,
by that?
yeah.
Because
That's
they have that innate fear or flight in them.
yeah. They can sense it. That's why a dog can
Or
tell.
there you go, even better, sense it. They're tuned in to the all better than we are because we are so far removed. That's what this whole reality construct is about, in my opinion, is to separate us from
Yeah, we
God.
keep falling.
And yeah,
Yep.
we keep falling. We're the fallen angels, the Anunnaki.
Hmm.
That's what we are.
Yep.
Or we strive to be the Anunnaki, the cosmic gardener, the beings that are holding the bag of the pollen and the pine cone in front of them. You know, that's what
Right.
that whole them glyphs and pictographs are about. Is that they're achieved the status. The Anunnaki are us, but us in this realm, we are fallen angels.
Yep.
Because an angel is one who has completed the great work and understands, and I think that understanding is what creates the construct we live in. I think
And I kind of like that word understand because you're under the halo then.
yeah, people
I
like to think that under means down or below, when under it just means that you're under the veil or under the umbrella or under the standing. We understand, like the underworld.
and you
People
don't
think the underworld is bad. The underworld ain't bad.
you don't like when people stand over you when you're trying to do something, a lot of people it makes nervous, but it just makes me strive harder, when people
Right,
overstand me. But that you gotta stand over to see the whole big picture sometimes.
right. Seth Dominus makes a comment about Secretariat was a harm too. He raced next to Sham, who also broke record that year. I just seen that the ending of Secretariat 2 days ago, and it's weird you say that because wow, that movie is lost. I mean,
You,
it's from 2014 in it, or even sooner.
you seen that movie Split yet?
No.
He's got 23 personalities, and one of them he needs glasses, one of them he needs insulin shots. But the 24th one was the beast, and they let the girl go because she was scarred. We got the stripes.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Jerry. Yeah, we got the stripes. What do you mean by that?
Our wounds, you know what I mean, from our growing pains,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
we
that
brought
means
that.
experience. You mean?
Right, right.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And I apologize if I seemed like I wasn't connected to you the last video we did.
I
You
thought
know,
it was pretty good. I went back and listened to it. It
but
was
I
good
mean, because I
stuff.
was always looking down and you were finishing a comment, and then I just go, yeah. But I was hearing you. I just wanted to make that clear.
I know you can play the drums. You can talk and listen.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about talk and listen, but I can think and listen, or think and talk, or or talk and not think. 'Cause I'm guilty of that all the time. Like recently, I bought a four or three wheeler. I got me a Yamaha three wheeler for $40. You
Yeah,
know,
we
so
ride them on two wheels all the time.
yeah, that's what I love doing too. Going up on it sideways and leaning
Yeah.
on the front tire, and yeah, but they're dangerous, but whatever. So I need a tire for it. So I go on Craigslist. I find a guy that's got a couple three wheelers that is in his garage and he's selling parts off of. I go there. He's moving out tomorrow, or this was yesterday. So he's moving out today. So he says, because I was going to pay like $40 for a tire, because I couldn't find one anywhere in this tire because the thing sat for 10 years or whatever.
Right.
But
Oh,
I end up with three wheelers. They all have three wheels. You know what I mean? And my
three.
number is three, bro.
You
I'm like,
kidding me,
what the
right?
hell? And my point is I'm such a hardened fool that I've now got. Let me list everything I got. I've got and this is why I'm saying it, because it's the divine paradox in its essence. I'm talking here about materialistic things and spiritual things all in the same breath.
It's
It's not
candy
like
for the eyes,
huh?
eye candy.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, that's not eye candy. I got all of this shit because I like to have fun and recreation. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I agree.
I have a jet ski, I have a go kart, I have a mini bike, I have three
Yeah,
wheelers
but
now.
all them things look good. You know what I mean? It feeds your eyes.
Well, not my stuff though. Doesn't necessarily. Well, to me, yeah, it does. But I mean, I've paid like for my boat. I got a boat, a 1963 Glastron Tri-Hull or Aqua Lift boat. I paid $40 and a sawed-off shotgun for 9 years ago, and I've used it every year, man. You know, so I'm a thrifty kind of guy. I don't go out and spending all kinds of money on brand new shit because I wreck shit because I treat it like it's stolen. Anything material to me is just fleeting, and I realize that, and I've realized that since I was a kid. But I still
Yeah.
like to have fun, and that's what the recreation stuff is about. I have a jet ski, a boat, three wheelers. It's just ridiculous all the stuff I have. And every time the guy says, "Well, you can take the two three-wheelers for $100," and I'm like, "What? Don't do this to me, man, because I'm gonna go home. My wife's gonna fucking castrate me because all the shit I have." You know what I
Are
mean?
they the same kind?
Yeah, well, two of them are 225 Yamahas, and one of them's a 125 Yamaha. And the two
Right.
bigger ones are 4 cycles, and the smaller one's a 2 cycle.
But at least it got parts, if you had to make
Right, and
one.
that's what I got to do is break them all down. But my point of all that is that when is enough enough?
True.
When is enough of our striving to get the dollar or to get the next best thing enough? Like the phones, we're
Yeah.
paying our asses for the phones now, guys. Why? You know, Why? Because we're forced to. Because, after a while they stop updating them. We're
Mm.
forced to. Why are we forced to? Because we need what? What do we need with our phones? The
I think,
affirmation of doing a live stream with Jerry Runk.
yeah.
You know
See,
what I mean?
that's all I got, Steve. I don't have a bank account. I don't have a phone number. I just got this phone so I can go through the information inside this tree.
Right. The ongoing cloud, right? I mean, the cloud of knowledge of collective whatever. And
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
yeah, and it's just like our life. We have to learn how to navigate that with discernment. Otherwise, we end up on a freaking negative train, or end up in a hole of descent, or
That
it, yeah,
converse, the
right.
balance between two worlds.
Wow, the views dropped up, or the viewers bumped up to 23 all of a sudden. Hello, guys and
Hello.
girls. Joined here with Jerry Runk. Jerry just had surgery and it went well. So, yay, Jerry. How much can you carry? That's all you need, right? We are all we are here for God's experience. In a nutshell, we are creation of God. God is, yeah, I guess that's right. We are in the mind of God. Do all that fun and good. Yes, I try to. Are we smart enough to pay attention to the right stuff? I can't carry all my guitars and amps. Miles said that. God experiences through us. I would agree with that. And that goes back to the seven houses of the Lord, or the seven Hermetic principles. How everything is a seven, how everything is a five, and how everything is a three in our existence. And those three numbers are all prime numbers, no coincidence. I mean, the seven are the scales of the sound, the scales of the vision, the scales of creation on the atomic, on the mineral, on every level. They all have seven, or even more, as a matter of
Yep.
fact.
It
But
says in the book that 7 is the finish number of perfection.
right, yes, and them seven, in my opinion, start with the mentalism, and then it goes to correspondence.
Well, it
Right.
works because it works in musical scales.
Yes, yes, and those are the notes, right? I mean, the seven. Name off the seven notes, and then there's octaves of them notes, right? And then
Yeah.
there's scales of them notes as well. Or
Miles would know a lot about
is
that.
octaves and scales the same?
Miles would know a lot about that.
Yeah, Miles, what you got to say on that one? I'm
But I think it
addicted
all
to
works off
information.
seven.
What was that?
I think it all works off sevens though. The whole because you got 5 lines. It's a staff. That's what we was trying to get a point with that Paula's video about the serpent and the staff. You know, staffs and musical notes. You got 5 lines, but you know, go the seven marks.
There's 12 notes, 7 scales of each note, or what's that? Octave is just the same note in a higher register or in a higher scale, right?
Be flat or sharp.
The Holy C chord. The numbers are symbols of facts, right? Some scales have more than 7 notes in them. So how does this 7 relate to the octave, to the ear? Because I know it has to. Spanish 8-tone scale, for example.
Well, it's like a artificial harmony. That's more like a grandfather clock, and it'll only work on 12, 7, 9, and 5, 3. It's hard to get them closer up, but like 12 is easy to get an artificial harmony. It's different than a pinched harmony, but the artificial harmony sounds just like a grandfather clock.
There's 7 notes in the major scale, as Miles says. What were you saying about the grandfather clock now?
An artificial harmony is different than a note, you know, because you hover your finger over the string, and when you pick the string, you let go, and it makes that artificial noise, that artificial harmony. And it's the same as a grandfather clock.
What do you mean by the grandfather clock analogy? What do you mean by that?
Well,
What is it?
you know the sound that used to be on the
the ding dong dong dong, the chimes.
Yeah, the chimes. They were all artificial harmonies, like off of 12, but all 5 strings. They might have played the 7 too. A lot of guitars like that. 7.
Yeah, well, Aqua brings them all up. 7 visible planets, 7 chakras, 7 colors, 7 days, 7 deadly sins.
But there's 12 stones. That's what I think. There's some underneath of us because everything's a mirror. You know.
Well, the 12 stones is in reference to the zodiac and the 12 paired cranial nerves we have in our head. That's what the 12 is to me. And you know, the underlying principle of the clock is 12 times 2, which is the night and the day, equals 24, and that's the same. You know.
Well, it's the same. That's what we talked about with the pyramids. You know, the 12 is a foot. You know, but then on the metric side, you know, it's like they build them pyramids. One's metric, one's standard, one's something else.
Right.
To
and Miles is talking about first, second, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, sixth, major seventh. What denotes them to be perfect major? Can you touch on that a little bit? And then Trina says 7 rays, atonement, a tone. Oh, that's very good, Cayman. I never even thought about that.
And Trina, she tracks her Christos too. A lot of people are starting to do that.
Yeah, that's a big question I want to ask Phyllis about the Christos and what, you know, I'm curious as to what his answer will be for that.
Well, it's the well in the gates in the Bible. You know that well. Remember the movie The Ring?
No.
Rebecca brings the water to the top of the well.
I've never seen that movie. The Dream?
No, The Ring. You remember The Ring?
The Ring.
Where they were in the well. The woman was in the well, and all you could see was the little ring.
I've never seen it.
An eclipse.
Yeah, and that's something I've heard over and over, is that the eclipse is symbolic of the awakening too. You know, right? I mean, what was I talking about here? God damn it!
Revelation 9:12 or something like that. That went with.
Oh, it did.
Yeah. She was pregnant with Jupiter or whatever.
Keep your mind on the stars, but let your eyes watch over your footsteps, lest you fall into the mire by reason of your upward gaze.
And that's where you overstand. You're looking down on yourself.
Yeah, or you just make sure that you realize that this physical creation is within the manifestation, or is the manifestation of a thought or a mentalism or a mental correspondence between God and its creation. You know, we are in the all, but we can't really accept it for what it is and live it to that absolute sense, because we are in the relative.
We're in the image.
Yeah, we're in the image. We are in the image. We are the physical manifestation, and we can't throw that out. The physical sense of what we are in this, you know, because that's what I found myself leaning more towards, you know, matter doesn't matter. You know, the last podcast we did, I was like, you got to realize that the physical isn't shit. You know, well, yeah, it is to us because we're physical. You know,
we're gonna get that. We're gonna reap all the benefits from the earth.
Right. And fourth, fifth are common chords and notes that resolve to the tonic or first. Third, if minor, major, the other notes will be flat or sharp. Oh, can you feel my vibe? The vibration? You can feel the vibe, but you can't think it. Right. 7 is the Elohim's. 7 rotate, Z, Oz. And 7 up is the pyramid, 7-Eleven. Nice. 7-Eleven.
The row of bricks was 7. The row of 7.
No,
bricks.
I think the rows there's 13, isn't it?
Well, that's stacks, but I'm talking about, like, you know, the first row has 2, the second row has 3.
Yeah. Right.
Earth, wind, air, fire, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, water, metal, and wood. I'd have to look into that pentagram one because I believe that's the 5th row, the 5.
Aqua Sharon says, Revelation 9:11. They had as son, king over them, the angel of the abyss, whose name is Hebrew is Abaddon.
And Apollyon. You know what that means?
And in Greek is Apollyon. Yep, the destroyer.
That means destroyer. Yeah.
That means that the light is both Lucifer and the Son of Man, the Son of God. I mean, Jesus, right? I mean, Jesus is the one and the same as Lucifer, the light bearer.
Yeah. You remember that one video we did, and I said, "Oh, yeah, Satan said." I mean, Jesus said that wasn't by accident.
Right. Seth Dominus, this manifestation is a complex equation between us and the matrix. Yes, the matrix is the all. We are just parts, manifestations of the all. We are, yeah, I would agree with that. Tricks into matter. We are entangled with a genius entity sizing us up. I don't know about that. I believe that we, by divine union, refresh the creator. It must strive for some reconciliation for its effort. And I believe that reconciliation is the spark or the aha moment, the pineal blossoming, the lotus flower opening up and becoming the cosmos, becoming one with the cosmos.
Well, you'll
the finite turning into the infinite, and that it must give God pleasure.
Well,
I mean, that's go ahead.
Being made in the likeness, we're still being made. That's where the word evolve is really coming from. I mean, I ain't say we come from monkeys. I just like climb a tree. I like to swim like a fish. I want to fly.
Oh, right. Very good. Yeah. Maybe we all inherently come from everything, because we do. We create the everything. We come from everything. Within us all, within everything, is everything conscious. And I think in what I've learned is that we are androgynous at base. We have both male and female aspects in us. But to the creator, we are the bride. The creator God is the bridegroom, right?
That's where the enmity came in, where he put enmity between the two. He put the
enmity.
Yeah, E-M.
Oh, enmity.
Yeah, division, war. But that was inside. But we are divided too, with the woman out on the outside. The woman and man divided, but we're divided on the inside. There was war between it. That's why we're trying to get back to being one.
Right.
Masculine and feminine. which I'm finding my feminine side.
Hello, Padma Kundalini. Love the name. Hello, peeps. No mud, no lotus. We have to have water. Yes, right. But I mean, I was speaking in a metaphorical sense that we are one female and male, right? But I mean, our lotus flower, when it blossoms, it becomes one with the cosmos. It in turn becomes the cosmos, right? And then that is the reconciliation or the affirmation or the reason for our existence, I believe, because that's why that's the only, in my mind, that's the only thing I could come up with when I think about on absolute sense is that we are needed in the sense that for the regeneration of the light.
It's such
Because
a gift.
yeah, and I love breathing and farting here.
It's
but
such a curse too.
Yeah, and that's exact the divine paradox all over again. You know, it's good and it's bad. You know, and I think that's why we manifest or why we choose to reincarnate here, because I think that you can sit in the duat if you don't if you don't achieve the everlasting life. You know, the death before you die. You know, the reborn, the rebirth. You know,
Spiritual death, what I call it. Well, that's
or the ego death, the physical. You know, the ego death. Yeah, right. And the spiritual rebirth before you die, then you go to the duat. And I think that is where a realm where we get everything we want. It's the what is Valhalla, or the place where the Muslims go and believe, or the Islamics go, where the 72 virgins are, right? What do they call it?
I don't know. Don't Catholics call it purgatory? You go wait in purgatory.
I think that's all relative too, because I think the underworld is the same as the duat, and the underworld and duat are only what you make of it. I think, you know what I mean.
They say you go to the moon, but you know, maybe that's why that one's hot, one's cold, one's life, one's death.
Right. She turned me into a newt. You know what newt means too. Newt is the orderly cosmic background, or the cosmos, the heavens. The noon is the chaotic primordial substance, or substance in which everything is okay. Like you think of light, you insert light into the abyss of darkness. What does that create? It creates the universe. Yeah. You know, it's the phallus and the vagina. You know, the yin and the yang, the up and the down, the night and the dark.
And that's
the light and the dark.
Really having sex. That's why the energy runs through that North Pole. You know, it keeps running through the machine.
Right. And it's no coincidence that Ankh, you know, you know, it's both, you know, horizontal, vertical. It's got the vagina and the phallus. You know, and that's because it's the creative principle. You know, that's what the Ankh symbolizes to me now. And then the weirdest thing is that the Ankh with arms upheld in praise is Pluto, you know, which is Hades.
Yeah, he's got the whole world in his hands.
Right, which is Hades, you know. And what's the opposite of Hades? Heaven, you know, in a metaphorical sense, anyway.
You remember when I was a kid, I told you I drew that star man. I didn't draw a stick man. I drew a star man. And then I put two little horns on each side with a little, like a wave in between the two horns. And I also put a belt on it. And it's kind of crazy that it all came down to that was really your temples. And I knew that shit from child. I mean, I was in daycare before school, you know, drawing these things. And I didn't know why.
Yeah. We're all here drawn here for reasons that I think we're all figuring out now. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I mean, on my channel anyway. It seems like we're a bunch of misfits that don't fit in anywhere. I'm serious about that, because I'll tell the truth in what I believe to be true, regardless of what you think. Mm-hmm. You know, and so will you. So will Miles and most of these people in here that I've seen over and over and over again. You know, and then even new ones. Go ahead.
I'd rather somebody hate me for who I am than love me for a lie.
Right, right. Padma says she's not cool. I think it's a she, or is it a guy? I'm sorry if I, but you're both. Believe me. I'm not cool with AI, they say. Seth Dominus, cult of personality, cult of personality. May Apophis devour their whole families, blood and death, feast for the chaos beast. You know who said that?
I give up. Tell me.
Thoth Anon says that. I think he's related to QAnon. He's helping the swamp being drained.
The sea
Yeah.
math.
Oh, I thought somebody else was here. But anyway, I got the link posted if anybody wants to. Hey, what's up, Joseph? Nice to see you here. Haven't seen you in a while, Ruby Roberts. Here's the link to Zoom if you guys want to join, you know. But yeah.
That'd be awesome. Somebody call in.
I love how you say in my head. That's my line. Ha ha ha. It's in my head, in my head. Oh, Jerry, the elect, the Kabbalion. I've been studying Kabbalion. We are the elect, bro. We are the ones. May the lips of wisdom be shut, closed, less to those with the ears of understanding. Those are the elect. The ones with the ears of understanding are the elect.
Anybody. Yeah,
anybody.
That makes sense.
Anybody with the ears of understanding to the wisdom is the elect. It's not. It doesn't mean the elite. It means the elect, meaning that
it means them. It could mean them too, because God.
Yeah, them too. But I mean exclusively because I think that's how you saw it,
right.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. That's beautiful.
But yeah, the Kabbalion, dude, it's 4 hours of an audiobook. I've listened to it now 2 or 3 times, and it's, when you listen to something and not read it, it takes more repetition for it to sink in, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Purifying Mother Paula on the line.
Rainbow.
What's up, Rainbow?
She's my rainbow in the dark.
I'm promoting her. So, yeah, we got Paula from Rainbow Phoenix, Holy Spirit Purifying Fire of Truth. I think she chose that name because mine was long and she had to be longer.
Well, maybe.
Hey, you remember that song by Dio, Rainbow in the Dark, Steve?
Which one?
Rainbow in the Dark.
Sing a little bit of it.
Oh, I don't remember how it all goes.
See, I can remember every lyric to every song, but I don't know the song title. But I wanted to say hi, Paula.
Hi, Steve. And
how have you been?
I have been getting over being sick.
Me too.
I have not been sleeping well. I'm finally starting to feel better now. And for the record, I'm supposed to go live at One with Jen today on BQH. Yeah.
BQH, what's that?
Well, I don't remember what the first one means, but quantum healing is QH.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Jen.
Dun, dun, dun. I caught him again. Caught who again?
You.
No, I'm talking about the chat. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the chat. They caught you live again. Yeah.
That's good.
Oh.
That's really good. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's kind of hard when I don't plan ahead, huh? Edna Bell, hey, SSSTT and everyone. Hey, Edna. Nice to see you here. Glad you could join us. Bob Trophy, guess why? 6th title at age 66. Days from Bill Belichick's 6th at age 66 on the first month, 3rd day of year before him, Nick 7th, age 66 at 6th NCAA. Oh, wow. Yeah, that is weird how the numbers tend to align themselves in our reality, isn't it?
Yeah, did you see where we did that video and Euphrates means sweet water?
No, I haven't. I've watched one of your guys' videos and I can't remember which one it was. Or 2 of them, actually. The most one just recently. I can't remember which one. But I haven't been paying any attention to YouTube at all. None. As people can quite clearly see in the YouTube video list of my
I think it
channel.
was, yeah, it was our last video, and
Yeah.
you left a comment underneath like, "Shit, you missed it," you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
As long as you've seen it, yeah.
Yeah, I watched half of that one.
Oh well, you might have missed what he's talking about then.
Yeah, that's why I was backpedaling and trying to explain why I didn't see it, because I
Oh, you
feel a
don't
little
have to
bad for that.
explain yourself to any damn buddy.
Well, yeah, I do, because I respect and love you guys. So, you know,
Well, we miss you when you're gone, but you don't have to waste your words falling all over yourself apologizing. I
I
understand.
miss myself when I'm gone.
Yeah, yeah, huh? Right?
Valley Parks, hi, how are you? Yeah, so what does it mean to you guys when you keep your mind to the star, keep your mind on the stars, but let your eyes watch over your footsteps, lest you fall into the mire by reason of your upward gaze? What do you guys think of that statement? Do you think that's pretty well explaining the balance of the two, of
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
Green
absolute and
grass.
the relative?
yes, I think so.
Well, it's like that green grass and high tide. You're too busy looking down at the grass. You ain't paying attention to the flood coming, the high tides. But you got to keep that balance between two worlds.
Yes.
Yeah. And Cayman chimes in with, let him he who speaks continue until he find. When he finds, he will become troubled. When he becomes troubled, he will be astounded, and he will rule over all the great work, Gospel of Thomas. Very good. Very good. Yes. Good
Right.
luck
And
trying to watch
we
above and
know
below
why.
at the same time.
We know why you will at first be troubled and then astounded.
Yes.
It's because you figure out that Lucifer became Christ like we all do.
What? He fell in love?
He fell in love. Lucifer fell
I'm starting to think
hard.
that's
in
the
love.
full armor of God. Because that's
Yes.
why the Tin Man and the thick skin, the full armor keeps you from keep getting your heart broken.
Right. I mean, it's love and hate are the exact opposites too. I mean, you can transmute love into hate. You can transmute hate into love. But let's speak on that a little bit. You know, the whole transmutation process of the ebb and flow of our reality. What are we to do when we're faced with nothing but negative and and strife? What are we to do? What do you guys
Well,
think?
that's I find the fix always. I think that's why I was put with my wife. She always finds the problem. I always find the fix. Whether your glass half full, half empty.
Well, April showers bring May flowers.
It means
Yeah,
open.
that's right.
Open that flower.
Yep. And what do you think, Paula?
I agree. I was talking to Jen Fisher because I'm
Okay.
supposed to go live with her and I'm trying to postpone it till 3.
So you're saying you're on my channel, thinking about another channel, not paying attention to our conversation.
There's
Just
too
run
many
it past me again.
I'm just kidding. I can't even remember what I was saying. I just wanted to, just
You don't even know which Ford to get in today.
yeah, right, right,
I literally just rolled my ass out of bed.
right. But I
Yeah.
mean, all of the absolute of our reality and the relative to our reality, and how they are both above and below, and both are manifest in the ebb and flow of our creation. What are we to do when we're faced with nothing but negative? How do we transmute negative that our whole world surrounds us with into something positive? What do we do on a personal, in a mindful, meaningful, mentalist way? How do we do that?
You have to buckle down, and I am speaking from experience living with who I live with. You have to buckle down and decide to be happy in the midst of the storm. And, well, by the way, and for the record, that's in the Bible. Yeah.
Well, that's where that the gate to heaven is in Genesis 28. It's you can either read it in the dreadful place or the awesome place. It's your choice, really. But you get thrown turds at you. You know what I mean? Just it's hard sometimes lift yourself back up. But I've been very good at that. I think that's why I've been so strong at that. And my wife, it helps her bring her out of that hole. I've watched a lot of people change in their way they say things in chat and everything. People are coming around full circle.
Oh yeah, and that's what P. Turtle just said. It all endings are new beginnings. And Cayman says the cup of respect, compassion, understanding, and patience. And Thothanon says you should try to live with my schizo mother for a while. And Padma Kundalini says we stop the wheel, and we stop in the wheel and Deborah says you become the light in the darkness. Yes.
Yes,
That's the whole thing of Halloween.
And I had a schizo mother, and I had to be nice, and I had to love her anyway.
You're right.
That's the whole Halloween thing. Your head starts glowing.
But we become higher than the light, though, guys. When we achieve the ascension, when we achieve the death before we die, we become higher than the light because we created the light.
Well, that makes the halo above.
We created the light, though. That's what we need to understand. We create that light in divine union with God by the understanding of our creation.
Maybe there's 8 chakras.
Oh, there are many chakras.
Well, yeah, but it'd have to be that's the infinity number. I mean that's why I said before about the broken ribbon on the cancer. It's one ribbon turned, but it's broken.
And Valley Park says, don't feed the archons. Well, the archons aren't just all negative either. The archons are they're archetypes, right? Isn't that what archon is a personification of an archetype, right? Is that what an archon means, if I'm not mistaken?
I don't know, but it sounds right. Where'd she go?
Archon, I think we just looked it up, means like ruler too.
Or Lord, yeah, or Lord, right?
Or Lord, yeah.
Yes, and that's what the 7 lords of the cycles are in the Emerald Tablets, are the archons, or the creative principle of the number. You know, like 3rd is the one who dictates the fear. 4 is the one that looses the powers of Etolin or whatever it's called. But I mean, and then 5, it goes on and on, but those are the archonic attributes or personification. An archon, I believe, is the lord of the principle, right? I mean, there's
we just did look that up.
Yeah, it's a personification of an archetype.
Wow.
Do you remember, Paula? Was that under God when we looked that up, or was that under Lord where we found that?
It says to rule or ruler, yeah.
Yeah, and Nasa Amatra, some might call the planets archons too. Yes.
Rulers
or principles behind the archetype, right? I think, or the archetype itself.
For we are not ruled by flesh and blood, but of principalities and powers in high spiritual places. Yes.
Correct. And I think that's what the 7 hermetic principles essentially are archons, right? Wouldn't they be?
Well, the opposite of archon, how to come out from underneath the tyranny of the archon or demon.
Well, no, the archon, see, now that's where I think you're going wrong, is an archon is not a demon, is not a neither a negative or a positive. An archon is a...
Oh, you would see it that way, though, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do know exactly what you mean, but I'm just trying to help everyone who sees an archon as a negative.
That was in that when we read that, too.
Yeah.
Oh, just what we just debated?
Yeah, we just looked at words up.
Yeah, I have it here, but I can't share screen. I forgot how.
People seem to forget that in them olden days, they had Caesars and pharaohs. Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't understand the whole leader thing either, but there always seems to be somebody that, and the edict goes through, right? I mean, the plan goes through, or, somebody to... And I'm not saying that I think I always need a ruler, but it seems that throughout our human history, there's always been somebody that is head of the house, right?
Well, that round table we were taught, I imagine there really is a group. Probably
The
12.
leaders were children of God. Pharaoh was Horus, and all were divine and spoke as God and ruler. Divine right to rule. All nonsense. Oh, that's where the whole royal bloodline thing creeped into our councils, right? Was the whole royal bloodline essentially was that at first with the pharaohs, and they were direct descendants of the first enlightened beings, because that's what Anunnaki to me means is, and then you become
Well, that's fine.
anointed with the oil of the, you become anointed, or you become the angel, and you decide to do things against the common good or in the positive or the selfless nature, and you do it in a selfish nature after you become an angel. Then what does that do? What does that bring upon the earth? What is that what the whole Atlantean allegory is about, or story is about?
They're the landlords, literally.
Yes, literally, they're the landlords. Yes.
Your soul print.
Also, I gotta say, I'm looking at possible deeper meanings of archon, and there's one that's, what is an archon angel? And so when I read that sentence, it came to me, archangel, and the archangel.
Oh, that's right.
Guard
that
the Holy of Holies.
That was under Lord or God when we looked at it.
And the Holy of Holies is what? The 7 Hermetic principles. There's the 7 of all creation. I mean, because everything in itself has 7 or better principalities to it. But I mean, the 7 major ones are the principles of the Hermetic principles.
But I don't think it's all 7. I think it's the final step, because you have to take certain steps one at a time before you are cleansed enough to enter in the Holy of Holies at the end. Yeah. So I think it might be the 7th.
Oh, you're talking the Holy of Holies as in a place, as in like the pleroma, the heaven.
Yeah.
The 7th seal.
I mean, that's also within you, though. Yes.
The 7th seal.
The 7th seal, yes.
What is the Makara? What is the Makara?
Oh.
Just a bunch of psychotic vampire freaks ruling things nowadays. Light worship. I know of at least 3 other chakras: Earth Star, Soul Star, Stella Gateway. That's my dog's name, by the way, Stella. She's a gateway. Good discussion, folks. Nobility comes from noble, to hold oneself to a higher standard, like chivalry. No nobility anymore. Very good. That was Miles. Royal blood, blue blood, copper blood. It's all about the Ra, the light. The Ra is the boat of Amun Ra is actually, in our physical sense, is the sun going across the sky, right? In the house of bread, which is the same as the light in our head. It goes back to that arc, all spark. It's electric, nice, very nice. Everything is within us, right, Deborah? In Hindi, the odd numbers are decided. Oh, do you guys know the Makara in Hindi? Giant says. I don't. Are you saying the Merkaba? Merkaba.
Yeah, Merkaba. I'm sure they mean, yeah.
Giant.
I don't know if that's what they mean, though, because I'm just repeating what they're saying in chat. Sorry.
They always
Makara is Hindi.
Comments.
They say Makara is Hindi. What is Hindi? Sobek is Egyptian. It is generally depicted as half terrestrial animal in the frontal part, stag, deer, or elephant, and half aquatic animal in the hind part. That's what a Makara is. Merkaba is your protection. Merkaba is your Ohm's law. Ohm as in matra.
Yeah.
Nos ama matra says our means alter. It's a constellation. Ara means altar. ARA means altar. It's a constellation. Guards the gate of the gods. Makara does. Is that the same as Anubis? Huh?
Which one was that? The gate, the one that guards the gate.
I think that's what Giant's saying. Makara is.
Uh-huh.
Huh.
Yeah. S, even spirit level. Sobek.
Well, the one I know that guards the gate, or the two that I know that guard the gates, is Orion and Cygnus, the swan. In
Yeah,
ancient,
that's what the Path of Souls talks about with
yeah,
the Mississippi River Mound Builders. That's what they believed or
That's why
yeah,
it's
believe.
two. That's why it's two though, huh, Paula? Remember
yeah,
that was the double gate, the double gate.
yes,
P. Turtle
yes.
says Makara is a sea creature in Hindu culture. It is generally depicted as half terrestrial animal in the front and half aquatic animal in the hind part via Wikipedia. Look up Sobek. Makara is both. Sobek is both. So that's the same as that there's the two within all of us and all of us within the two, right?
Yeah, and another thing that I remembered about Orion is it is also the throne, and he is the tarot card, the magician.
Well, he's the fool, right?
The magician and the fool, yeah.
The
Yeah.
wizard. He's the
The
wizard
wizard.
and the fool.
And it's
Yeah.
funny that you bring up Orion because that's where really my soul journey really started. Because it started when I heard the word Nibiru, of course, but I mean, it was 2 years after that where I came across Danny Wilton's work. In the physical sense, I started thinking about the esoteric while in the exoteric mindset, meaning that I came across his why is the creation of Adam painting the same as our mind? You know, it's a depiction of our mind, or right profile, and it's an overlay of the Orion Nebula. That's all is mentalism, right? I mean, so that must be the conduit in which our niche, or I don't know if every universe has the all, you know what I mean. I don't know if the all encompasses everything, but I mean in our niche, I think the Orion Nebula is the conduit for us to get to Cygnus or something like that. I think it's
If you go through that nebula that you just said his name a minute ago, and I used to watch him all the time, and there's no excuse.
Danny Wilton.
Danny Wilton, shame on me. The very nebula that he showed, the picture they always show us with Christ standing in the middle, that's the nebula that either when you die, before you die, you go through, or when you die, you go through. And then, like in the never ending story, there are tests for you to pass or fail once you get in there. If you pass them, then you go through to the Cygnus constellation and meet with God.
Yeah,
That's
or
St. Peter's Gate.
so
Yeah.
Cygnus could be the pleroma or the heaven that we all seek, just
Yes.
right of the three bears story. And Sobek was an ancient Egyptian deity with a complex and fluid nature. He's associated with the Nile crocodile and is represented either in its form as a human with a crocodile head. And that is the creature that ate the soul when they failed the heart feather test in Egyptian underworld lore, right?
Oh,
That was
That is
another river we didn't look up, Nile.
so
yeah.
that's where you go back to to the duat. That's the duat, when the crocodile eats you because your heart outweighed the feather, because you haven't released all your karmic woes or whatever the case may be, or
We
you
just
didn't live
read
your
that.
life to the status of becoming. But I mean, that's all fine and good. But then where does you have to become an angel before you die, because you can't become an angel after you die. You have to prove your worth while you're alive, right? You have
Yes.
to
Yes.
complete the journey before you die. It's the ritual in the skull and bones. What's the ritual in skull? Maybe you die before you die when you come to grip with your mortality. Yes, that's part of it. Danny Wilton.
Yes.
He's a analyst, and he happened to cross a crazy circumstance where he noticed that the creation of atom painting is the same as a profile layout of our brain, and it overlays with the nebula, and it overlays with the Great Pyramid, because that's what the Great Pyramid is essentially symbolic of our ascension, of us becoming diamonds in a sea of clay, meaning that it was originally a symbolic and physical means to ascend in the sense of, becoming one with God. It was a portal to the heaven, to the pleroma.
Yes.
I think that's what.
Shinedown did a song like that. That's Diamond Eye or something. Eye of Diamond. It's really interesting.
Makara, Gian says Makara was of the Ganges River. So the Ganges River must have been to the Hindu the same as the Nile River is to the Egyptian.
We need to look that up. What does Nile mean? Because I mean that's another big river. If it's the waters of chaos, that's why you said, God damn it, hold the waters back.
Hang on.
Makara and Sobek is all of the gods. Yes, and what I get from what you could describe Makara as the creature with both an animal and a aquatic version, and the Sobek as being what was Sobek again? Sobek was the primordial substance. So Sobek was the An and the Nu, right? Or the abyss.
Well, we started out as fish, and we grow into animals. I mean, everybody started this life as a fish.
Right. We were fish out of water.
Well, we were in water.
Oh, you mean in the physical sense? There goes Jerry in his physical annotations again. No,
I'm talking about in the semen. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were little seeds of
Yes.
swimming fish.
Tadpoles,
We
reptiles.
Little tadpoles, cute little tadpoles.
Nas Ama Matra says crocodile ball god is Sobek. Yeah. Yes. And that's what that's just crazy how through every generation or every venerated generation that we can think of, through every high society civilization that has come and gone, ebbed and flowed, just like everything does, just like our universe, just like our planet, just like our week, just like our day, just like our mind, just like our thoughts, just like our depression, our exaltation, everything ebbs and flows. And I forgot what I started all that for.
That's why we look into the river so much, because it does flow.
Yeah.
Right.
The meanings of Nile and Euphrates, and why Moses struck the rock.
I got Nile.
The word Nile comes from Greek Nelios. Nelios comes from the word river valley. Nice.
Is that what Paula came up with? What'd you call it? River Valley.
River Valley. In ancient Egyptian language, the Nile is called HPI or ITERU, meaning great river.
Great river.
Yeah, so.
Some of them words you got to dig deep to find,
Yeah.
It kind of shows what we go through to bring up words and what they really fulfilling means.
Yeah. Thoth Aman brings up a good point. Is scared and cared the same as sword and word? Nice. Very nice.
All right.
You add the serpent. Because I'm a snake. That's why my name is slightly slanted sleuth. Remember that video? I just had to put that out there. I don't know why. Because a snake isn't just a slithering being that it belongs in the ground and is the lowest of forms. A snake, a serpent, is somebody that has achieved godlyhood, has achieved angel status, who has achieved the knowledge, the wisdom. You can know everything, but until you understand it, you ain't wise.
We just talked about that. Yeah, I believe snake's the energy. That's why it moves like that.
Yes. It's a serpent wave. Yes. Of energy.
Yep.
Giant, is that why the Hindus, those are the people that have the funerary pyres at the riverbank, right? I think that's their funeral practices. Well, because I believe that it was the yes, water is consciousness, conscious like all the four elements. Water is, I believe water is the prime substance. It's like the the phi ratio. You take, because H2O in its relationship to geometry forms a 36, 108, 36-degree triangle, which is the Pythagorean triangle, which is the symbol for H2O. You know, that's straight from Ken Wheeler, which
That
he's got
makes
it tattooed on his hand. Huh?
that makes the 72, 36, 36.
It's 36, 36, and then 108.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah, but
we
36 times 3 is 108. Yeah, you're right. And then the 72 names of God are,
Yeah.
the same as that. Yes, and that's where it all correlates and all intertwines, and that's how as above so below isn't just speaking of what's up there is down here, or the Kether Malkuth. It's also speaking of what is below us is also the same as what we are and what's above us. You know,
But that,
I meaning
yeah,
that our knowledge is maybe considered godly to those below us, but ever higher than us if we consider others higher than us. But it's all the same, because law, what is it? Chance is not. Chance is chance is only uh, knowledge that's unknown, or mystery that hasn't been solved, or because all is law, right? There is no coincidence. There is no chance.
Right.
Hypnosis with Jen Fisher, BQH. I just got the notification.
Nice.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
you see how we spelled that.
yes, I did see that.
Hypnosis, Gnosis. When she was using her text to speech or speech to text, that's how it came out. And since nothing happens by accident and everything happens for a reason, that is why we chose to name it that. Hippocampus in your brain. That's what you tap into when you're doing the BQH sessions. And then we all know what gnosis means, do we not?
Right.
Right.
Gnosis is the knowing.
we're filled with the Holy Spirit. We're filled with water.
Yes.
P. Turtle says knowledge comes from learning, wisdom comes from doing. I think wisdom comes from understanding what the knowledge is and what you're doing, though.
Well, you
Because I
have
think,
to understand it in order to do so.
and that's
Some
part of the
people,
Sephirotic tree. Severe, Sophia. Oh, nice. Very good word association there.
Yes.
So, I'm sorry if I put somebody in a timeout. I didn't mean to. I just had that pop up on my phone. Sorry. All temples are guarded and covered with Makara. Nothing to fear but sphere itself. Nice. Knowledge
Mhm.
comes from learning, wisdom comes from doing. We already said that. To clean the souls. AC current waves like a snake.
Yes.
Right. And if you look at all these ancient depictions of snakes, like the serpent mound, and it's got the 4 and the 3 association in it. What does that mean?
well, I was thinking about that today because it keeps speaking about the 4 living creatures. So 4 was a big number for some reason.
I think that means the ebb and flow of the 4 elements of the means in which our construct. I think it's speaking to the 7 in total, but I mean, how they relate. The 4 and the 3 is the elements in our physical existence to the journey, the hero journey of the 3, or the rise, the and the fall. But I mean, in the middle too, the rise, middle, and fall of our who we are, because everything in a physical sense has a beginning and an end, right?
Yes.
And when you enter that mentalism of knowing that and understanding that, that creates the 5th element, which is the diamond, which is the bing, the bling bling. Give me some bling bling, because my head's gonna ring, right?
So you mean I ain't got to stick a needle in my eye?
No, don't do that. At least don't do it on camera, because I can't watch that kind
Oh,
of
no. He said that for a reason.
shit.
That's what they used to do so they could see properly.
Yeah.
So they could see with their 3rd eye instead of their 2 eyes.
Well, no, their 2 eyes would see how reality really is. The sky,
Right.
'cause the breath is down, the flesh. That's that symbol of as above, so below. Really, what that's Ecclesiastes 3:18. It's really what it's talking about. It's why we image it like that.
Can't hear you.
Did I go out?
Yeah,
Sure, kind of did. You started sounding like I don't even know what. What?
See, I must have been saying something good then.
No, it's your microphone ended up behind your head. What's up, Max? Max Vision Remote View. This could be 5 elements, 4 cardinal points, and 3 divine in the union. Very good. Yep. Very good. 5 elements, 4 cardinal points, and 3 divine in the union. Very good.
Right. So the 4 are, I call them Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and they are Leo, the lion, Taurus, the bull, Aquarius, the water bearer, and Scorpio, Aquila.
And Leo's the heart.
And Leo's the heart of the lion, Regulus.
But that's the H-E or H-A-R-T heart, I believe.
Thothanon says, or Amon says, I said Anon, it's Amon earlier.
Yes,
if there is no chance, then there is no free will, or no free will exists.
Life would be boring without mystery.
Right.
Be single-minded and single-sighted. Right. I think that in the end, that's what we have to be, is single-minded and single-sighted, meaning that, we have to rest on the laurel of all will be fine and good and concentrate on the one truth that is the all.
Is it Trinity? Sorry, Steve.
No, go ahead.
Is it the Trinity, mind, body, spirit, mind, body, soul, heart, mind, and soul?
Yeah, heart, mind, and soul.
Yeah, well, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. I mean, that's the generic version of it. But I think it's the logos in the primordial ocean of the Sea of Chaos, right? I mean, that's essentially the first monad, or where the 1 becomes a 2, 2 becomes a 3, right? And then it goes back to the 1 again.
That's why we look up the rivers, what the rivers really simulate, and it can be many things, but one is when it's descending downhill, it's the chaos the corruption and chaos.
Yes.
Because that's what we're really up against, the corruption, the wickedness. That's why we're in Sodom. That's what it really means. That's
right. We are. Yeah, we're in hell right now in the in the esoteric sense. I mean, you can make this world what you will just by your will alone, in your own mind.
We decide to be in heaven. Yes.
Yeah, but you got to be listening too, because like you went and bought them 3-wheelers, and there's and he gives you 3 for a deal because he's moving. I mean, God speaks to you, and you hear it a lot of times.
Oh yeah. And there's no coincidence that Dinger, or the symbol for Anu, which is the one who contains the whole universe, meaning that the heaven or sky, he's got 4 trumpets or 4 horns on his symbol. It's I don't know if you guys can see that right here. Right here.
Yeah, I've seen that symbol before.
Yeah, that's also the sign of the chaos too, I believe, when it's just straight lines, isn't it?
I give up.
Well, the chaos is truth.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm talking the chaos, the substance without order. The primordial ocean of chaos, which is the microwave background or something. I think. The scalar wave. Until it's brought into polarity.
2 people in one room that are divided is chaos. I mean that's all it takes. Vision.
That's why we have Max Vision.
Hydrology. Is not the ocean like Shiva as creator and destroyer? Very good. Yes, it is.
Which ocean are you talking about? The one above us or the other?
All of them.
Great Sea.
All of them. Just like the ocean in us. I mean, it can destroy us, and it can drown us, or it can uplift us.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, Steve.
And yesterday or whatever, we was reading about that where the salt. Remember,
I'll allow
we
it.
are salt, but to drink the pure water, you had to do the osmosis or something to get rid of the salt, or you want the extra salt. That's why she turned to a pillar of salt, because she looked back.
Well, I think the filter
Yeah.
for our ocean's water becoming fresh water is the sky, is the atmosphere, is it not? It's
I'm talking
what
about on the inside.
on what?
I'm talking about on the inside.
Oh,
Yeah.
in our esoteric journey.
Right,
Yes.
the well, how you drink the well, but it's not salt water.
Yeah.
Crystal clear,
You have to
crystal.
run the water through an osmosis, so that you can have the sweet water.
Right. The spirit of truth is here and revealing the truth. The helper will be with you and within you. Yes. The lips of
Agreed.
wisdom are closed, and except for to the ears of understanding, or the
Yeah.
pearls before swine analogy. You know, all of that, right? It's all interrelated. They're all the same statements.
Yeah.
But you have a river here. Guess who's stating this? You have a river. You create a dam, grow crops, feed your herd, animals. Miles downriver, at the same time, a tribe starves because their water source dried up.
And that had a meaning too. I can't remember which river it was. What?
I'll have to rewatch this to catch that.
And Giant is talking about the water holds memory and river cleanse. Yes, in the hydraulic system of the earth. That's like the intravenous system of our bodies. I mean, it's no coincidence that a vein looks like a river. Like if you look at the surface of the earth from a distance, it looks like veins in our body, right? Like
Yes.
the endings in our bronchial tubes, you know.
But
Yeah.
And
they
they all have the phi ratio built in as well. You know, it's no coincidence that everything is of the phi and the pi ratio. You know, it's all phi pi. Stick a needle in my eye.
Are we stealing the blood though? Really, out of the earth, the oil? Why do we got to drain it so bad? I mean, if you ever drove a truck or drove cross country, you see so many cities you go in. I don't see how we keep fuel to all these people. I mean,
Dude, it's amazing how much oil and gas is being produced and sold. Just me alone, all the gas I use. I mean, I couldn't have just imagine it. It's just enormous, and that's why I think our whole system's turning on us, because that I think is part of the ebb and flow of our creation, of the world. I mean, we've probably done this a million times, this cycle, you know.
remember that who built the pyramids? We did. You were there, don't you remember?
Right. Who's on first? Who's on second? You know, that whole thing.
Oh, there's something there, let me tell you.
Who?
The who's on first, who's on second, no, that craziness. They are saying something deep
Yes,
there.
they are.
We got to figure it out.
Well, they're saying pretty much that we're all on first, we're all on second. It doesn't matter anyway, because trying to figure out the intricacies of nonsense isn't going to get you anywhere in the big scheme.
Maybe when you flip the dartboard
it's going to get you confused and then missing the ball.
Well, but I think there's even more to it than that. Yeah.
Well, you flip the dartboard over, would that be your 369 on the other side?
Oh,
the other side, the bullseye is the diamond.
Oh, the diamond in the rough. Nice.
How to sum up humans. Poor fishy, we're here. Let me put you in this tree where it's safe.
oh God. Who said that? Who said that?
P Turtle.
Oh, love P Turtle. you poor little fishy. Let me put you in the tree where it's safe.
Mm-hmm. And the thought touches on his last comment and says, maybe the tribe comes and kills you and takes your stuff to survive after you take their water away. Isn't that the same as the whole thing in our inner selves, what we battle? You know, what do we do when we stick to one thing and one thing only? We get lost. We get tunnel vision, right?
Yes.
Stuck.
It's the same as when you focus on the divine, nothing but the divine, and you ignore the relative, which is here now. or vice versa. And that's where that's where I was stuck before. I was just focusing on the here and the now and what's in front of me. And, and I had an inclination that there was more to life, but I never really delved into it because I thought it was a bunch of contrived nonsense. And I stand corrected by that. I'm eating crow.
You eat my own dung. Remember,
crow.
The watchers eat their own dung.
Oh, my back.
Society grows old when men plant trees whose shade they know they may never sit in. Well, that's a pretty good analogy there. Society grows when old men plant trees whose shade they know they may never sit in. So they plant trees knowing that they're not going to sit under the shade of that tree, but they're just planting trees or seeds of knowledge for the next to take upon, right? I think that's what that analogy, that was a pretty good one. Came in, I like that.
Yeah, I do.
Remember the birds, the birds come and rest under that tree, but the bird is the word.
Well, they rest in the tree, yes.
Right. So the same next people that come to see that video or whatever, their words start.
Okay, I've got a big question to pose. What is the whole right hand of God, or the right hand of man, or you know what I mean? What is that whole thing about? Why is it that you have to stand at the right hand of God? What does that mean?
One's give, one's receive.
Yeah, let Jerry speak first. Say that again, Jerry.
One's to give and one's to receive. Remember what we read yesterday or whatever? God, that law of whatever it was, where you got to take it, because the Bible says you got to put your hands forth. So really, He gives it to you. You got to take it.
Yeah, God's trying to hand you a gift, and you have to reach out and take it, or you'll never have it. You can't just have it. You have to reach out for it.
One hand's receive.
The left hand, I believe, is what gives, and the right hand is the one that receives. And I say that because of my birth chart. My left hand is debilitated. I can give my words, I can give my love, but most of the time I can't give my money or anything else. I can give advice. I can give, things that are energy, but I cannot give physical things. So it makes perfect sense that's
so it's God essentially handing us the gift of spiritual unity. That's why you have to stand at the right hand of God. And
yes,
nice. And nice. And his favored arm, his right brain. But wouldn't his right arm be his left brain?
Well,
right hand.
I do say that, yes.
Right hand path righteousness, left hand path satanic selfishness. Do as thou wilt. Yes, give and receive, Colette says. Max chimes in with the right hand is feminine. Stand in the feminine light. Horus and Set ripped each other's arms off. Yeah, they did, because they were battling, and they were, Horus is the sun and Set is the sun setting, right? Also for receiving energy, healing, kind side, right side brain. Horus lost his right and Set lost his left. Well, all I got to say is there ain't nothing right about me. I'm all that's left.
We're all here because we're not all there.
Yeah.
Yes.
The pick of Christ with the hand on his heart and left hand out is Reiki. Yes. Very nice.
Well, that and Christ comes for his bride, so looks like it'd be the feminine side. Unless we're more feminine than we are masculine, just didn't know it. That's why heart's only in the Bible that 2 times, and it's the roebuck.
Right. Like Thoth was. Sin was a moon god, like Thoth was. Right. 2 sides of the brain are the 2 pillars. Yeah, I believe so. Or the 2 eyes with the 3rd eye in the middle. So yeah, both sides of the brain. And it's like the Absu and Tiamat. Absu was the watery deep beneath the earth, and Tiamat was a personification of the salt waters. Or Absu was the and inertia, and Tiamat was rest, and Shamash is sun god, judge of the gods. That was before the Egyptian. That was in the Mesopotamian sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the masculine is being made extinct to prevent anyone having any balls and standing up for freedom.
No stones.
No stones left unturned. Sinister, star, moon, the pick of Christ. I read that. Two sides of the brain are the two pillars. Cayman. Yeah. Masculine is being made extinct. That's, you know who said that, right? I don't think I even. I think every time I ask that question, it's a loaded question by now, because they all know that we have one against the grain guy in the chat. No. I love how he's against the grain though, because it gets you thinking.
You need that.
If you're thinking, yeah, you need the yin with the yang, right?
Yes.
Won't be long until they have to make all their guns and weapons pink with flowers on them.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Don't shoot.
Yeah, don't shoot me. I'm AI. But yeah, we're all androgynous in the true sense of the form. We just gotta, make the two one again, right?
Yes. Make the two one again.
And this, gender in the Hermetic principles is not in the male and female aspect. It's the generation, the regeneration principle, and in that generation principle, the male and female aspects are rear their heads, because that's what it takes to regenerate. It's how we beget or have another kid or reproduce.
Maybe that's why the moon will shine like the sun. Your right eye will shine just as much as your left eye.
Right, and the moon signifies the silver, and the sun signifies the gold, which are the keys to heaven, right?
Yes. The two Hermetic keys, the keys of Solomon, and all that jazz. Yeah. I like keys.
I like the black keys.
I like all the keys. I ain't prejudiced.
I like the Kiwis.
Oh.
I don't really necessarily like kiwi, by the way. But yeah. The axiom of divine paradox is the opposing dichotomy of each thing, like something and nothing, heaven and hell, male and female, up and down, in and out, beginning, end. They're all diametrically opposed in seeming. They seemingly are diametrically opposed, but they're the same thing, just on a different scale or at a different degree, right? It's like hot and cold.
Sides, yeah.
That's why I say there's a 1 on each side of the 0.
Yes.
On each side, 1, 0, 1. Yeah, that makes sense, because that's the algorithm of That's like the ones and zeros of the computer. The algorithm. It's that makes total sense to me. And if you can, I think if you can intertwine all of the numerology, the astrology, and astrology was the first thing that astronomy was born out of, was astrology, I believe. And it's like the psychology was born from mystic psychology, and knowing both sides of the coin, not just the one. And what else was there? There was the religion and the metaphysical, or the religion and the spiritual. The religion was brought forth from misunderstanding of the spiritual, or the teachings of what we're talking about. Because essentially this stuff we talk about, I think, is the base of all religions. It's what it was all born from. And religion was born from the misunderstanding of all of this, I believe.
Yes,
what do you consider religion anyhow?
What was that, Jerry?
What do you consider religion? I mean, what do you think that word means?
I think religion means to abide by a certain set of rules or a certain set of guidelines or a certain
Right.
set of style of thinking. That's what
Yes.
religion is, right?
Well,
That's
you can
yes.
also look at it as religion, and with legion, there are many, and those are the bad spirits.
Well, yeah, I don't think you can denotate bad or good when it comes to anything anymore in my mind because it's both. That's just
Well, we'll say the dark side of it. Yeah.
yeah, the dark side. Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
The
and
harmony.
without the dark, there would be no light. That whole
No.
cliche, and it's funny how we consider things that are repeated over and over and over in verbatim. Like the words are repeated over and over, and we start thinking of them as cliche. We've heard that so many times that we're full of it, right? But you look at the Bible and you look at it through the eyes of say somebody that has higher knowledge of what the Bible truly is, which is just a repeated over and over and over story of what we are here for, right? Is that what
Yes.
Yeah,
you guys agree with
The
that?
book of life. Yes.
there's a lot more in there though about how to get there.
Right,
Yeah.
but my point is with all this is that we think of things that are repeated verbatim, the same words over and over as stylized, clichéic, nonsense because we've heard it over and over and over, but still it's true. But yet, when we look at the Bible through the eyes of the mortal man or somebody that isn't that is confused by the church and the preacher and how their take on it is without taking a personal view at it from a different perspective, how that is so confounding and so uh, deliberately, we think it's deliberately contrived when in essence, if you look at it through another perspective, it's actually a handbook for ascension, and it's the most important knowledge we could ever want. Now, is that not a dichotomy in itself too? You know what I mean? How things can be right there in front of you and you not see them.
Blue on black, tears in the river.
You know, it's like the wisdom of the lips of wisdom are closed to unless to those with the ears of understanding, and with those who have the eyes to see will see. And the whole, it's just nuts how it relates to everything in our existence, the rhythm of that in the opposites, the polarity, the vibration, all of it is just crazy when you look in, you start dissecting everything, our visual, our I'm sure everything is got the same, everything, and that's what the tears are about. And that's, I think that I got so much information flowing through my head right now, I don't even know what to talk about. You know what I mean?
And
I'm
I've said
serious.
that before to
Because I'm
you.
trying to relate it all to certain aspects of, and once I get down that road, it's like I'm caught in that road, and then I think about another road, and I didn't even finish that road. It's like, geez, slow down.
But you have been putting it out there beautifully. I mean,
Yes.
you've spoke some good words.
Yes.
Religion to me means dogma. Yes, to me now, religion, the word religion to me means dogma, but I see it differently. I'm starting to see it differently because I understand now. China will not last. That type of system is not sustainable at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Religion.
There it
Bring
goes.
back the legion. Make everyone fall in line. Yes,
Yeah. Yeah. That way can be. Yes.
it's a legion, all right. A legion.
Agreed.
I think you meant lesion, right? Not legion.
Well, actually, the Bible does speak of abscesses and lesions. So.
That's funny.
And how to cleanse yourself from them too.
Right.
Yes.
The fact remains that we as mortal beings and as finite creatures within an infinite spiritual, we have to marry the finite belief with the infinite belief. That's the same as squaring the circle. That is the formula for ascension. We have to marry those two aspects along with every other two aspects, every other polar opposite, and realize that all of those fall under the pendulum of rhythm in our creation. Because for as far as the pendulum swings right, it will swing left.
That's
The
why I
ebb and
say
the
there's
flow.
one on each side of the zero.
Yes.
The in breath, the in and the out, the expansion and contraction.
101 Dalmatians, class 101, whatever. Yeah.
Yes, yes. The winter and the summer, you know, all of them. I mean, it's all there for us. Just to, I mean, if you really get down to the brass tacks of it, it's plain and simple that it's chaotic until we understand it. You know, if it all falls in line and it's hut 2 3 4, hut 2 3 4, right left, you know.
Yes.
You know, and it all comes in a rhythm, and you understand that, and instead of going from one extreme to another, you can live closer to the middle, to the pleroma, to the monad, to the one, to the our higher self, to heaven. You know,
Yes.
like that analogy Phil gave with the three bears and Goldilocks and the three bears. You know, the porridge analogy, where this porridge is too hot. That's right where we're at right here in on Earth, heat. You know, we're in the heat, we're in the fire, in hell. And then
he didn't watch that video.
Huh?
The sun, you didn't watch that video. The sun will be like seven times hotter.
Yes. And the moon will shine like the sun.
Yes.
What is that from?
Out of the Bible. That's
Yeah.
that's book of Isaiah, meaning saved.
Yes.
Oh, so it's speaking of the seven principles. What do you mean by that? Explain your analogy there, or the Bible's analogy. Decipher it for me.
Just where it's, in the great day of the slaughter, that the moon will be like 7 days. I mean, the moon will shine like the sun, and the sun will be like 7 days. But we look in other translations, it'd be like 7 times hotter, and that's the global warming we're facing.
Yes.
Right, but to finish the three bears is, this porridge is too cold. What is that?
Well, I can add to that if I can interject here, that most systems out there in all the other universes, or all of them, they all have binary suns, as in two. We only have one. I think our second one's hiding behind the moon, or it is the moon, and that's what they're hiding from us.
The dark side of the moon.
Yes.
I think our second sun is the light we create, to be honest with you.
Well, I know we got two hearts, and the sun's supposedly the heart. So you got your HEART, which is the sun, and then your HART, which is whatever the other sun is.
And they're both within the
The heart.
H. Hearth. Yes.
Well, the fire in the hearth is another good analogy for the whole in the physical representation or personification. But to me, the cold in the three bears thing, to get back to that, is the truth, right?
Yes.
Because it's severe.
Right.
And what's just right? Heaven, when you make the two one again.
There's that verse, Steve, and you did a video on it. It says, and he was afraid and said, how awesome is this place? This is none other but the house of God.
Yes.
And this is the gate to heaven. Or you can read it the other way. And he was afraid, and how terrible, how dreadful this place is. So, it's that was the third eye, your pineal. And you did a video on that too from this verse.
Yeah, that was from the Gospel of Thomas, wasn't it?
No, remember Trent sent that little video, and then he sent me a thing, and then somebody else did it. I think it was Trent or something put it on there. No, it was Angel Fairy, and then you put the video up there about is the third eye in the Bible.
Yeah, it's talked about. It's the place of the where John wrestles with God, right?
Uh,
Or
No.
Joseph? Is it John or Joseph?
it's not Joseph, it's who became Israel. So
Jacob.
Jacob. Yeah, in the place of the pineal, he says, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the pineal. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
pineal.
the pineal. But it's
Yeah.
still the gate. That gate's there. I believe that's the seventh seal, the one we're trying to unlock.
Well, right, exactly. It's the crown. I mean,
This is why you shouldn't miss our videos, anyone, because that's what me and Jerry are circling.
circling what? The wagons?
Circling the seventh chakra,
The well,
the
sorry.
well,
Well,
the third eye, all of it.
the gates.
got to go back to work. Love you all. Bye. That's Max. Bye, Maxie.
Hi, Max.
Jacob's ladder. Yes, Jacob's ladder is the same as what is it? The stairway to heaven. You know.
And your DNA.
And this, yep. He saw the face of God in the place called pineal. Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
The seventh seal is the crown. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and there you go. 7 seals, the 7 chakras,
Yeah.
7 days of the week. You know, and why is the 7th day of the week considered the day of rest? Because that's the moment. The when your lotus flower blossoms and your spirit gets ejaculated through the top of your head.
What if it's getting hotter on Earth because we're always living life in the fast lane? We're always stealing the energy.
Yeah, I made a video on that too. Yeah, exactly. The clamor on Earth on the Sabbath.
Yeah, because we don't give back the energy. That song, I stole my power from the sun. You know, we're like plants. We must take more energy than we give back.
Right.
Jesus taught meditation. Free Press 666 says. AO is 7. What does that mean? AO is 7. Alpha and Omega? Is that what you mean by that? He that can see and hear meditation on their one day off. You cannot see the face of God anymore. Then your cells in your body can see your face. This is true. Yes, it's like the God or the all is in the earthworm, but it doesn't make the earthworm God. You know, or the God is in all of us. And then when people run around saying I am God, that's probably the closest thing to blasphemy that you'll ever hear, because they cannot be God, because the God is the only one that can be God. You know, and the God is the all, or the spirit of life, the all spark, and in my opinion, it's, you know, we create that in divine union with God. You know, go ahead.
Hell, I remember now. You know how if you don't get them out.
And I do that all the time.
In my book, it changed. You know, it says if you eat of the tree, you'll become gods. Mine don't say that with the little G and S. It says, or come like gods, but it says you'll become like God. And that's what we all want. We're being made in the likeness.
Yes, and that's in the likeness is in the likeness of you know, the man is measure of all things, harkens to the phi ratio, as you know, in the aspect of how it's the template for the natural forces to create. I think, you know, it's the fractal of the whole, you know, the fractalization. It's the above and below part of the all, you know.
Yeah, but one's backwards. That's why the symbol's that way too.
Oh, the destruction and creation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the Fibonacci, and what's the other one called? What's the opposite one called, guys?
Because I thought about that too, sorry, Steve. But remember when you had Danielle on there and she said she saw the two rings spin in different ways?
Yeah, one of the first video I did with Danielle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of miss Danny D. If Danny D, if you see this video, I'm saying hi, honey. I miss you.
We think about you for sure.
Yes, we do.
I still want to get in her book.
That did sound right. I want to get in her book. She does have a hell of a Bible.
Yeah, it's got all the symbols.
What's she using?
I have
She's
no
got
idea.
it's just a fancy looking what is it?
It's wooden, ain't it? The cover,
No, I don't. Maybe the cover might be, but I think it's all wood because it's paper, right, Jerry?
well, yeah, but I'm talking about it might be hemp. Mine's hemp.
Right. Yeah, I guess they did make up hemp paper, did they not? If you pay taxes, you don't own it. It's just another fraudulent scam. Well, that's just like our existence in essence is a scam to fool us into the delusion that this is all meaningful. The only meaningful part in this world, in this essence of our existence, is to me, is the attainment of the spiritual crown.
Oh, it's not in vain.
No, but I mean, this is if you think of everything as a gist or a, I don't know, what was that question? The laws created only for those who created. If you pay taxes, there is no more land ownership to own land. No, what was I commenting on that about? Thoth is a wise soul. Thoth is our collective spirit or consciousness, right? It's just like Jesus, the Christ, I think. Went to court. If the judge used the word matrix one more time, I would have lost my shit. They operate in commerce. They will destroy this reality because of the future knowing. Maritime law, no law on the land. Oh, I just had an epiphany. Maybe the whole negative train, the whole demon aspect or demeaning. Isn't that weird how that demon and demeaning are the same? But what if,
You're devilish, man.
what if that is they're trying to nice woof. But what if they're trying to stop the ebb and flow of the pendulum, of the rhythm? Is that what's going on here? Because their day in the shade is about up, maybe. You know what I mean? Is that what the whole issue is?
Well,
You know, is that why the chemtrails and shit like that? Because if you're of the higher mind, in which we know some of these people must know all of this stuff we're talking about, because you can use these forces both bad and good, or for good and evil.
Yes.
You know, because good and evil or bad and good are of the same source, just in varying degrees. I mean, they're on the same plane, and so are they trying to oppose the natural pendulum swing back to the left and the right? And there's no, you know, you think about the political aspect of our association with the right and the left. I mean, it's just crazy how it all goes hand in hand, right?
Are they doing that with HARP?
Right.
Jerry, you froze.
Yeah, you're froze up. Your picture is frozen.
Hey, I need a blanket. I'm frozen.
Nice picture of your lap and your arm.
27th letter is the Aleph, right?
No, you can't say the Aleph in a 27th letter because the Hebrew alphabet's only 22.
Yeah.
So,
or no, what the 27th letter is Z in the Aleph is the first letter, right? I mean, in Hebrew.
Yes. There you go.
More gooder. Hey, check it out. This only happens to me.
It only happens to him like chipmunk only happens to me.
What the hell is that about?
I don't know.
It done it before, dude.
There's nothing he can do about it. Well, it still could come back though. Now that it has started, it's going to get all. Yep.
Himself in the head.
They're trying to forego. Thoth Amun says, stop in its swinging altogether to stagnate and stop evolution and change so they can maintain power and control. That's what I was just getting at. And is that the great deception, or is the great deception what we're living because of our self-determined worth, or what we are in our mind instead of what we truly are? Is that the great deception, or is the great deception being perpetrated by the left or the right?
Well,
Chemtrail, chem, ham,
the
tail.
great deception is that you're you and I'm me, and we're not one.
Yeah, very good. Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Don't lie to me.
Yeah.
Plant Food 42 says chemtrails in the Bible are Aaron's rod.
Say that
Right.
again.
Chemtrails in the Bible equals Aaron's rod.
Oh, I love that. Jerry said right. I agree.
And it's also electricity and power lines. They
Yes.
told them how to run AC.
Oh yeah. And remember when we were talking about the right hand of God? I think it was Free Press 666 says the right hand rule of electricity. And I wanted to add that in because the right hand rule is the, you know, you here, I'll put my video
Well,
on.
it's funny. It even says in this book that black is hot.
But to me, an L
Ooh.
to you is backwards. You know what I mean? To me,
capital L.
I'm putting an L, and to you, what is it? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it
It's
ain't
not the
shit.
same. You know, to you, an L is an L. To me, are backwards. You know what I mean? It's the mirror image. Isn't that weird? You know, isn't that weird?
Like devil and lived.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Or sword and words, or saved and slaved, or you know.
Well, when you wrote in calligraphy and you turned it upside down, you could really hide like that. What I was talking about, rainbow in the dark. I believe that's by Dio. Their symbol is devil when you turn it upside down because it's in calligraphy, but it says Dio. When you turn it upside down, it says devil.
Nice.
Right.
Because they do their works in the dark. Remember, we read that passage.
Alpha 2 Omega 5. Aleph. Aleph first, only 22 characters in the Hebrew alphabet. Odie Odin. What's up, buddy? Plant Food 42 says 8. Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, take handfuls of soot from the furnace in sight of the Pharaoh. Moses is to toss it into the air.
Huh.
Each
There's
hour of
people-
your time is more limited than diamonds.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
What the limited?
People's time is valuable.
Yes.
Right.
Time is money. Right.
Right hand gives, left hand takes. Yep. It's the right angle. There you go.
Yes.
90 degrees. Spiral. Very good. Yeah, guys, but we've been going on now for 2 hours and 15 minutes. I'm going to have to say good day. And I appreciate you all. Thank you,
Good
Jerry,
thing.
for joining me.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Steve.
I hope I hope you heal fast and good. And
He will. I'm on it.
I'm gonna get me a bicycle. Start riding again. I used to ride. I was real good on a trick bike.
Oh, no shit.
Do tricks
That'd
on
be
bikes
funny.
too.
Be
Yeah.
funny to watch you wipe out once or twice.
That 50 years old and still out there jumping over the handlebars. Or something.
Yeah, hey man, that was one thing. I had the trick bike, but I couldn't do the tricks.
Yeah, mine. I had the Haro Master, and it had the double pegs on the front, and the handlebars had a place to stand too, where you could stand up on the
Oh, I just
handlebar.
had a regular bike and I was doing tricks on it.
Well, you can't kick the bike around, with brake. You have to have hand brakes, and then you can't spin the handlebars and all that without them getting tangled.
The
Yeah,
kind of
with the
tricks I
gyroscope?
used to do was
Yeah.
get the bike going really fast in a parking lot, stand up on the seat, put my arms out in balance, and turn myself in a circle, standing on the seat, straight up.
Damn,
Wow.
pretty
Yeah.
impressive. Pretty impressive. So now I
Always-
guess I'll forgive your longer name than mine.
I always get the
I'm gonna
kids like
shorten it as soon as they'll let me.
I always get the kids like that. They're like, I ain't never rode a bike. How do you do this? And I'll get on it backwards and sit on the handlebars and ride away.
Yes.
Nice.
Yep, that was, yeah.
Were you trying to teach them what reality is really about?
Hey, we park on a driveway and drive on a
Yep,
parkway.
exactly. Everything is the opposite. But thank you, Paula. I'm glad you joined. And
I would have joined last time, but they wouldn't show me the link, so I didn't know there was one.
yeah, it was.
I love-
You can't go all the way back and chat, can you? If you enter late, huh?
When you got to move the bar to that point. Like, and
I tried.
only show that window in so many minutes. So you got to find that minute mark that it's in there.
Oh,
Yeah, which I had no clue because I didn't know how long you guys had been live when I joined the
yeah,
watch.
it was a long one last time too. But I want to say thanks to Miles. Thank you for joining us as always, bud. Came in
Yeah.
8:30. Free press 666. Behind the eyes we see. Thank you. Who else? Odie Odin. Thanks for coming and joining us, bud. I'm glad you were here. Plant Food 42. Nasa Ma Matra. Glad you could join us. I hope I'm not hacking the shit out of your name.
Right.
Who else? Who else? Who else? There was a few more.
Hey, thank you, Steve.
Yes.
You know,
Thank you. Ruby Roberts, P. Turtle. I like turtles. Adama
Turtle dove.
Kundalini. Thank you guys, all of you guys. I appreciate you guys and girls.
So
I
much.
mean, we are all here to learn, and you know, in this school of nonsensical gibberish of the real and the unreal, there could be no other than you guys that I would rather share it with. So
Right.
thank you.
I agree.
We really don't even need mods in this. Really, I mean, how long we've been doing this?
You're right. I mean, you know, I think that's because we're all a bunch of misfits and they're scared. They won't come over here because they'll get attacked from every angle then.
Well, I'm talking about there ain't a bunch of bad stuff in chat where we need
That's what I
mods.
mean. That's what I mean, that they won't get it. We won't get attacked or, you know, the
Yeah.
trolls. But I mean, it's, you know, it is what it is. I ain't getting my message out to 500 people at one time watching the live stream, you know, because
However,
I'm not peddling goods. I'm not peddling this, and I'm not peddling
Right.
nonsense and fear, and I'm not being, you know, I don't know, mainstream media savvy. I guess that's
well,
how I
I
could put it.
have to say that I'm okay with being a monkey in Chinese astrology and having a wrench because I do come to throw the monkey wrench into the Babylonian machine. Yes.
Miles says he finally got a freaking wrench, and then he was banned from YouTube.
Oh,
He blames the
crap.
wrench. He blames the wrench for getting banned.
No, it wasn't because of the wrench.
That damn runky monkey.
Well,
That was so
thank you
awesome.
guys. Have a good
Thank you.
day. And what time is your live stream? In a half an hour, Paula?
I postponed it, so
Oh, you did.
it's not going to be until like 5.
Oh,
Okay, I'll be watching.
be
Yeah,
there.
this one's with Jen Fisher, not with Jerry, though. So you know, this
Well,
one's.
I'll still watch. I'll still watch, even though the runky monk ain't there.
Oh, it's going
I'll
to
be
be
in
very
chat.
interesting.
All right, guys. Love you.
I
Thank
love
you.
you.
Love
Take it
you.
easy.